Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to do an outlook on the linebacker position and kind of project who I think is going to be out there, because look, whenever you have that systematic change on the defensive side of the football, and we both know this here, this isn't some overnight transition. This isn't something that can be completely solved 100% in the blink of an eye. No, this is going to take some time. We need, no more Jordan Jenkins, no more Neville Hewitt, alright? There's going to be a lot of new and fresh faces at this linebacker position, and quite frankly, it's key for the defense to have success. You go back and you look at the San Francisco 49ers defense. One of the main reasons why that defense was so awesome was because of the linebacker play. So with that said, let's take a look at the middle linebacker position first for the 2021 New York Jets. It's going to be CJ Mosley. The 6'2", 250-pounder should have a pretty significant role within the Saleh defense, manning the middle of the field, being that defensive anchor, being that defensive veteran presence, the leader. Okay, because you take a look at CJ Mosley's career up to this point, he has been flat out amazing. Former first round pick, multiple time Pro Bowler. The numbers are there. I mean, he always tends to rack up a lot of passes defended against. He's great in coverage. He's just everything that you want in a middle linebacker, in an inside linebacker. Now, there were some things working against CJ Mosley when Saleh was first brought in, most notably the time that Mosley has missed. He's literally only played in a handful of quarters within the last 2 years. That's a lot of time missed, all right? So we don't really know exactly how CJ Mosley's going to look. Issue number two, he's the second highest paid linebacker in the league. So we know this is a rebuilding football team. We know Joe Douglas likes to save money. We know he hasn't really shown any sort of tendency to want to keep big money contracts on the books, let alone sign any new big money deals. I mean, we had no Joe Tooney style of deals this offseason, all right? So point number three, it wasn't even a Joe Douglas signing to begin with. It was a Mike Maccagnan signing. So Joe Douglas has no ties. This isn't one of his core guys, one of his core building blocks. Is CJ Mosley a great player? Yes, but at the end of the day, Joe Douglas didn't sign him. It was a Maccagnan guy. And then point number four, throughout the course of Mosley's career, he's been more so a 3-4 inside linebacker, okay? And that was actually one of the reasons why he was brought into the New York Jets, was because of the system that was being ran by Greg Williams. He was keeping the 3-4 intact. So there was a lot of question marks, a lot of unknowns to say the least, but after listening to Robert Saleh speak about CJ Mosley, after going back and watching what he did back in Baltimore, just the sheer level of dominance that he displayed on a year-to-year basis, the consistency, the durability, the reliability, it gets you amped up, and I fully expect CJ Mosley to bounce back this upcoming season, manning the middle of the field at that middle linebacker position. So as far as the strong side outside linebacker position is concerned, I feel like really the first thing that needs to be asked, what does this position call for? What are the responsibilities of the strong side outside linebacker within this 4-3 defense? And I think it starts with stopping the run. Stopping the run, setting the edge. Can you be aggressive? Can you shed blocks? Can you cover tight ends? And I feel like for those reasons, it's going to be Gerrard Davis, the 6'1", 245-pound thumper of a linebacker, former first-round pick out of Florida. I loved him at Florida. To be honest with you, I'm shocked that he did not work in Detroit. And of course, they had the coaching change, and Davis wasn't really, the best system fit, and he just struggled to get playing time with, Matt Patricia, that whole mess of a situation. But I really feel like with Gerrard Davis's intensity, the motor, the effort in which he plays with, and how hard of a hitter that this guy is, and quite frankly how fast and how quick he is as well, I think he's a perfect fit playing alongside CJ Mosley in that strong side spot. Now, I think one thing that's telling here is how the Jets managed to sign him. His backstory. He was the first free agent. The Jets had all this cap space, all of these positions of need, wide receiver, guard, running back, what's happening with Sam Darnold, quarterback, safety, all of these major holes, major vacancies on the roster. But we go out and sign Gerrard Davis on a 1-year deal worth $8 million before anything. Before addressing wide receiver, tight end, all of those positions, Gerrard Davis was number one. I feel like Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich have a plan in place. They look at Davis, they look at the upside, and he will fit the system. Getting back to the 4-3, where Gerrard Davis's roots lie, I feel like Davis will be a steal. And I know that kind of sounds like a homer statement, Jet fan here, but I believe in Gerrard Davis. I loved him at Florida. I liked him in Detroit. Shocked. I'm stunned he didn't work out there, but he's getting back to his roots in the 4-3 4-3 defense. I'm pumped. I'm amped. Let's go Gerrard Davis. Now, when we're talking about the weak side outside linebacker position, what does this call for? Typically, it's the best coverage linebacker out of the trio. It's the most agile. Who's the guy that can get from sideline to sideline pretty effectively? Can you play downhill? And I feel like we don't really have that number one superstar on the team, and it's going to be a competition, right? Throughout camp, it's going to be a competition. We have some available guys like Jamien Sherwood. He's the first one that I wanted to bring up here. Rookie, later round guy out of Auburn, played some safety, but is a flat out tackling machine, physical specimen to say the least. He can run, he can hit, he has size. The speed is there. And funny enough, I remember back when the Jets first picked Sherwood, there were like instantaneous reports coming out saying that the Jets picked Sherwood to be that weak side outside linebacker position. Okay, so obviously he's a candidate there. Could it be Blake Cashman? All right, former Minnesota Gopher. Cashman has really paid his dues. I mean, he's been able to hang on to this roster for the last couple of years, being a former 5th round pick. And I mean, you go back and you watch him at Minnesota. I like that draft pick because he was truly the heartbeat of the Gophers defense. Big time hitter, a little undersized, but I mean, man, he had a big time motor. He played with a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons why he's been able to hang around up to this point. So could Cashman take that weak side outside linebacker position? We shall see. Or should the Jets reach out elsewhere? Maybe a waiver pickup? But there's a guy in the market right now who currently is available, who's currently not asking for, this crazy 15 mil, some insane number. A guy who's worked with Robert Saleh before, a guy who fits the system, Quan Alexander. Okay, at one point in time, Quan Alexander was an absolute beast. He was an absolute monster. He signed a pretty solid deal with the 49ers way back when. Didn't really work out, dealt with some injuries, lower body stuff, but I mean, man, if the Jets are going through training camp and we don't have that clear-cut winner at that weak side outside linebacker spot, could we bring in Quan Alexander on a cheap 1-year deal and see what he has? He's worked with Saleh. He does fit that system. I think it's worth a shot. I think if we still have major question marks and we don't have a clear-cut winner after the first preseason game, I think we should take a hard look at Quan Alexander. So real quick, I do want to talk about the nickel defense, 4-2-5. I think it'll be Mosley and Gerrard Davis, because with the 4-2-5, you're adding that extra DB. So in turn, you're adding speed on the defense. So you can kind of afford to keep those two thumping linebackers in that can cover ground in Davis and Mosley. So at the end of the day, I don't really think that the linebacker position is going to be a weakness for the team. I actually believe it's going to be a strength. I'm excited about Gerrard. I'm excited to see what CJ Mosley looks like. There's a lot of things to look forward to. So I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section about this linebacker core. What are you most excited for? Man, I'm just so excited for the season. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.